Alright, so, hey everyone, sorry I'm a bit late. This is GeoWill from Productions², and we're going to do some streaming tonight for Odyssian Void development. Really stuff like the Reigns of Castamere playing in the background or something, because that's what it feels like at the moment. Meant to do a lot of stuff this morning that didn't get done. I meant to do a bunch of recording so I could render out stuff while I was working, and then upload tonight for Chrono Cross, but that didn't happen, and I also meant to do a bunch of work on OV off stream to prepare for this, which didn't happen, so that's why I'm a bit late. I spent about 45 minutes or so, actually no, closer to an hour and 15 minutes, I guess at this point, working on trying to get something for the context menu working so I can have something to start with, then we can work from there, but that didn't happen either, so. Had to work, had to do stuff for work starting at, I was planning to start working when I normally do at 10. Had to log in at 7:30, so it is what it is. Okay, so I've been trying to do a couple things. So what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be building a context menu. Right-click context menu. All it's going to do is it's going to display some random text for the moment. But we're going to essentially have it show up whenever we right-click and have it be drawn to the screen wherever the mouse is currently at. So, what we want to do is, first of all, I was looking at different things about this. So, it's really kind of interesting. We're going to have to create a custom player controller. We're doing this in the sandbox, by the way. Whenever I do something new and I have a chance of fracking up the tech demo project, I want to do it in the sandbox because it's easier to frack up the sandbox and fix it than it is to frack up the tech demo and fix that. So, what we need to do now is I was looking at the at this. So we have to enable essentially mouse control, and in order to do that, we have to create a custom game mode. So we have to create a player controller that will enable us to use the mouse for UI stuff. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to go ahead and minimize this or shrink it down so I can kind of just have it over here. And then we'll just work on this. So first thing, I'm just going to delete this for the moment. Just delete it. I don't care for the moment. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to come out and actually blueprints. I'll make a new folder. Say game, I guess. So any blueprints related to the functioning of the game, I suppose. That's what you could put in here. So first thing we have to do is we have to create a custom player controller. So let's do that. Call it P controller 1 or P1 controller. Not that there's going to be multiple players yet, but for now we'll just say P1 controller. So we now have our custom player controller. So by default it doesn't have mouse interfacing enabled, so we have to do that. So we've already created the controller, we've already named it. Right click on the blueprint, choose edit, and then, or just double click it, I suppose. So we have our class default window open here. Let's shrink this down a bit. So this is where we have all our stuff at. So the first thing we need to do is go down to the mouse interface category. We need to click on show mouse cursor and enable events. I don't believe we have to actually register the event. List of keys that will cause clicks events to be forwarded, default left click. We'll just leave it that way for now. On take visibility, let's see. So let's go ahead and save this blueprint. So that's pretty much all we have to do. So save it, compile it, close it. Well, actually, we'll drag this out of the way for now. So now we have to create a new game mode. So another blueprint, game mode, base, I guess. So we're going to use in the pick parent class search. And I'm going to say game mode. select. Okay. So I want to open this up now. And what do I want to do with this? So next to player controller class, we need to select our P1 controller. Player. Now save it. Okay. So settings, world settings. So game mode override. I'm going to choose our custom game mode. Okay. Alright, so now we get the mouse out here. And we're able to control and have the mouse at the same time. So that's going to be false, so that'll be fine. Let me move this. Let's disable that breakpoint and move it over to here. So as you can see, we still have an issue here, which is that we're right-clicking, but nothing's happening because it's not registering or consuming it or something. I think it's looking for it to come over some button or some widget within the UI. It's not reading out the content panel itself. I've also got a new issue with this. I think it's probably something that I fixed in the tech demo, but the this is also interesting. So whenever the interesting. So I think what we need to do is yeah, now it's like somehow whenever I think it's because we have the left click set as it said something to forward. Go back to the game mode real quick. Oh, the player controller. This. I think we want to get rid of this. Recompile. So we don't want to forward anything. No, it's still doing it. That's weird. Okay, it's just the spacebar. So for some reason the spacebar was making us go as well as the control, when it probably shouldn't have been. But for some reason the spacebar is toggling this on and off, which is interesting. So I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, so still not doing it, so we need to go take a look here. So UE4, right click, not triggering. Okay, so I think maybe we have it set up wrong now that I'm thinking about it. So this is the mouse over event. I was looking at some stuff that somebody else had put up. I think this might be wrong. I think what we want to do is right click. Event. Well, there isn't one for that either, though, is there? Event on mouse capture lost. Mouse enter. Target is use it widget. So, okay, UE4. Say HUD. Not registering right clicks. There's a right clicking bug. Don't care about that. So let's actually just say right click menu. Display menu widget on right click. I think I read through this before. So that's what I'm trying to use as a menu anchor, but the question is, how do we get the right click to actually show it? So I was watching this video here. We've already got our input mode, so that's fine. I'm looking for is how mapping player controller level blueprint pawn game logic. So project settings. Didn't watch the whole video, just parts of it, so I probably missed something. Let me see.
There's keyboard or mouse input into here. Now after that's done, so it goes right here. This is your input mapping. So it goes from the player's keyboard or mouse input into here. Now after that's done, it's going to go into the first input enable actor. And by input enable actor, what do you mean by that? Let's see if I can find my thing again. There we go. Is going to be an actor. Let's say we have our generic character here. And over in our generic character, we have some class settings and we have some class defaults. And under input, you can have auto receive input turned on. This means the input is going to come here automatically. By default, it's disabled. But if we had something that we wanted to take over input, say maybe an input manager itself and not the character, you might want to turn this off. And then you can set the priority based on how high and when it should come. After a try, it was equal. When you have your input set up to like the UI, the input is not designed to go to the UI. The input's designed to go to that chain and stack that we just saw. And that is why the UI, by default, doesn't do anything when you type in things. So I will show that shortly. So, we showed that when we play, we have our game mode input. Now by game mode input, I mean, let's look this up, and we'll hook it into the set input mode, game only. If we type in set input mode, we will find 3 different types. Game only, which is our default. UI only, which means the player or the character in the pawn do not get input. And then game and UI, which means both will take input. So by input mode game only, if we run this, you'll find, well, nothing will change. We're going to have everything working fine. Now there is one. Let's go and check it out. Now here's something that's important. Make sure you plug in. So also notice I moved.
Yeah, he doesn't
or I'm in the element.
actually explain how the UI is connected up.
Hitting the I key for inventory.
Update HUD.
And you find that when you're in your user interface, the I key no longer works. Well, the I key no longer works because your player character is no longer absorbing the input. It's going directly to your UI. Now, handling input in the UI for keyboards is a completely different video, but basically, you have some keyboard input handlers in the UI that you can use. It is locked tab to get back out, and when you come back, you'll break free. It's not going to be able to act. Interface gets none. Input mode UI only. The user interface takes the input unless you did. Make sure you.
So I was talking about just the input mode, but maybe we can use that. Let's go to my messy as hell mess over here. So this is on our UI input, or our UI blueprint. So our main problem is that it doesn't seem to be detecting right mouse clicks on the UI itself, the UI canvas itself. So perhaps what we need to do is see if I can select all this stuff without messing it up. Let me go ahead and break that and delete this. See if we can get all this selected here. Well, this, we'd have to move some of this over to. I mean, here's what I was thinking was. Okay, we create a, well, technically this fired when we left-clicked on the button, so if it's a widget that is within the canvas, it seems it's detecting and consuming the events then. So maybe we do that. But we create a, instead of doing it this way, we need to create some sort of interface in between these 2 points. So in between having the menu created and in between having it, having the UI actually detect the right click. So I think what we need to do is to put, like I was reading, like some sort of, just like kind of a, of course I don't know what that will do for the other widgets, but we'll see. Need to get rid of this, or at least bring it down. Let's go out to blueprints, no, UI. And we're going to create a new UI interface, blueprint. We're just going to call it mouse canvas or something. I don't know, just call it that. So all it's going to be in here is just a blank canvas panel. Render opacity 0. Compile. Let's make that a variable. So now, oh, also maybe we have to do an anchor on that. Oh, wait, this doesn't have an anchor. Okay. I wonder if we can actually add it or not. Let's see. So this will need to be a function, I guess, or not a function, a variable. Say MC var. Let's see, the type will be mouse canvas. First we need to do a create widget. Set the Z order to 1. And that'll happen on construct. Let's see what that does. I need to go back. Let's put the breakpoint back on here. Yeah, see, as you can see, it's not doing anything. Now, when I do this, because it's on mouse over. So again, we have this issue where, or mouse enter. Somehow we need to get this event to trigger for the entire panel, not just for widgets within it. Or figure out a way to make a widget that we can do that with. So maybe instead of just being an empty canvas, we need to actually add something to this. So we do have a canvas panel. Oh, wait, go back to this one. Self-hit test invisible. Let's set to visible instead. Delete this. Not that, this one. Compile. Yeah, it's not triggering it still. As soon as we go over... Or actually now it's blocking everything, isn't it? Because it's rendered on a higher level. So what we need to do then is when we add this, the Z order needs to be like 5 or 6 or something. So it's above that panel. And since it's smaller and self-contained, it won't cause any issues with like blocking out other things. So I guess what'll have to happen is that whenever we add something, it'll have to have a higher Z order than this panel will. However, the problem there is it's still not doing anything on this event on mouse enter thing, which is annoying. Z order 1. Well, that'll be fine. I guess higher than Z order 1. Let's go back to the designer. Z order 2. Save. Compile. This doesn't have to be anything on the Z order. It's fine where it is. Or actually, it doesn't. It's not interactable, is it? So it doesn't have a Z order. That's fine too. Okay. So let's try this again. I think that's right. Or is it reversed? Is it the other way around? Is lower... Higher values rendered last. Will also appear on top. Oh yeah, so if it's rendered as a 2, it should be... Unless it's still... this is still consuming the... This is interesting. Let's see, UE4... Let's see.
Right click, right click, that we can have them. We'll see about just simply putting it somewhere and go from there. Let's see, right click character, right click controller. Now I'm doing all 3 of these. I know I'm gonna need at least the game mode, but I don't know if I'm gonna need the character or the controller. But I figure it can't hurt to have both of them. Map needs to use the right click. See, hopefully I'm doing it right this time. Instead of wondering why 10 minutes later it's not working. There we go, right click. Okay, so we have that.
So maybe that's one thing we didn't do. Make sure that the map is using it. Lots of error. So where did he go to for that?
Either one of those would work. I'm going to grab these and put it in my right click. That we can have them. We'll see about just simply putting it somewhere, something like that. And our user interface. Where would it be the smartest place to keep a video? And our user interface. Where would it? That means anything it hits will then move, assuming you use physics. If you don't want to use physics, if you want to use movement, kind of like a non-physics based game, 2 boxes next to each other, you push one box, the entire chain moves. You basically have to do something like checking the overlaps. Well, I always forget about faking movement with line traces and things like that. The right click menu. It's something in UMG which is going to be fun to implement. Let's just have our character handle the right click because it's probably the easiest way. Well, I have 100 for 4. Wait, so that was my idea. Not your main menu, your user interface. This is somebody has to talk to the main menu and create the sub menu. Not the main menu, the main screen and create the sub screen. Let's do it inside the. God, this seems like it would be smart for either the player or the player controller. So either one of those would work. For example, add force or add in. That means anything. I want to keep push everything. And then my map needs to use the right. And then my map needs to use the right.
Oh, world settings. So player controller. Yeah, custom game. Yeah, okay.
Right this time. Instead of wondering why 10 minutes later it's not working. There we go, right click. Okay, so we have that. I got a question from Learning Man. He can get his cube moving by pushing down. He can get his cube moving down. That means anything it hits will then use an impulse. So it's going to be a lot of math. If you're not using physics, it's going to be a lot of math. If you are using physics, just add an impulse or a force. That's the basics of it. I can't go into exact detail right now. Harry has a good idea as well. Do a line trace. Call the same move function on the cube. Okay, so we've got an image, so that's what works good. I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a UI only mode, so that way we can work with just the UI. Okay, there we go. Here's my right click UI. And then
so if I play.
And then add keyboard. Nothing should show up, but this is what we want, right? This is our main, we'll just call this one player UI. Because that's what this is. And just to make sure it's working, oops, that's the pop-up menu. This is the player UI. Let's just add an image to it to make sure it's working. There we go. Okay, so we've got an image, so that's what works good. I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a UI only mode, so that way we can work with just the UI. Now what we need to do is we need to capture basically when we right click on here somewhere. Now right now if I was to go into here and right click, see, no, actually I guess I didn't technically need to do this in the player. But anyways, if you right click in here with the mouse, it's not really going to do anything because you can't capture events. So we can either listen for an event in the player and pass it over to our UI, or just override the mouse button down. I think we'll do that one, just to make it easy.
Oh, that's what I was missing. Okay, so that's what I was missing. The one that I was looking at earlier this morning was one where they had overridden the mouse button down, and I did not know that. So, let me see, what did he exactly press? I don't know if he wasn't recording this on a potato.
Do this in the player.
Or is my quality crap because of... okay, it's crap because I'm streaming and trying to watch something at the same time.
Right click in here with the mouse.
Alright, let's get rid of that. So... too far. Alright, so we clicked on override. Okay, on function override, mouse down. That's not that one. OV sandbox. Alright, so Okay, what I want to do is I want to grab this. And this. And this. I want to copy it, then I'm going to delete it. And we're going to delete this. And we're going to create a new function override for on mouse down. And then we're going to connect all this crap into it. So let's go ahead and reposition this stuff a bit. Okay, so mouse event input. Don't know why I have two of those, but I do. Get affecting button, any key. That's a bit different. Handled. Okay, so we have to do that. Obviously there's a okay. That could also be a thing. So probably. Oh, we haven't need to finish that as well. All right, let's see what happens with that. Oh, wait. Let's delete those as well. So that'll probably be causing an issue there. Okay, there we go. So on mouse button down. Put a let's put a break there. Also one here. Aha, there we go. Now we've got something. Okay. So obviously this is left mouse button click, so it's gonna be false. Right mouse button click. Resume. Okay, cool. Here we go. So create custom widget context menu. Add the widget. Set position. So we add one here. We'll add one here. Set text. Add menus. Add menu items rather. We may have an issue with yeah, I think we got a problem with this right now. Which is we need to set the context menu to the variable. Oops, that was a left click. Alright, right click. So, continue. So this value is true, it's valid, okay, that's good. Also true, good. So add child to oh. Oh no, that's right, yeah. So we want to add it to the vertical box inside of the widget that we added. And then, so if we go over to that, well, I thought it was over here. Oh wait, no, the one that I'm thinking about is this one. We have a set text function here. It sets the text for the text box. The add is so this works on anything. So add content, new menu item. Let's go back out to our event graph real quick. Or no, the have menu items. No, not there either. Crap, this one. Z order 3. Let's set this to 2. Actually, let me go ahead and break the connection. We'll use this one specifically. And I do have stuff in this, I think, don't I? Yeah, I got 3 menu items in there. Alright, so we're definitely adding them. What are we missing though? We're missing something. Oh. Well, no, that is what we need to do. Well, maybe not. Add notification. Okay, so I don't need to do that. Maybe that's where we're going wrong here. So we create the thing. We just need to add this to, well, so I want to put a widget inside of adds it to the game viewport and fills the entire screen unless explicitly set the size. So what if we create a... We kind of already do have one, don't we, though? Context menu. Well, it's a reference to it. It's not a... like an object inside of the UI yet. And instead of context menu, or that it'll be this context menu here. So add items, we'll need to fix that. We'll just leave it showing for now, try to make this as simple as possible. Don't need to add it to viewport. It should already be there, but we do want to move it. No, we have an error. Let's see, the blueprint itself is not a contact, therefore must have a connection. Oh. I knew there's one other thing I was forgetting, and that was it. Alright, so now if we play this, we'll have the context menu in here. Still isn't displaying anything. So maybe we make, we did it with the other ones. Let's just delete this out. Force delete. So I might not be able to open this again. Alright, now yeah, I can. Good. So what we want to do is we want to create just a menu anchor. Oh yeah, I crashed the editor. Awesome. It's always a good day when you can crash the editor. Alright. So, alright, context. Or rather, menu anchor. So what I want to do with this is set the anchor to center, size to content, and then post we'll rename this to context menu. Context menu. And that's going to be a variable. Inside of it, we're going to drop in a vertical box. That's going to be our context menu box. Now, what we want to do is go over to our graph. Okay, so it doesn't like should probably do a hit test on that as well, or a valid test, I should say, just to make sure that everything we're working with here is valid. Or target. There. Actually, we don't have to do a construction on this anymore. So context menu, get context menu. That'll be the target. Really. So let me see. Set. Let's say position. Oh, let's get many position. Well, for now that's fine. We'll just have it be displayed all the time, and we'll have it just be in the one location. All we want to do for the moment is just have it print out these things and create menu objects from the menu button widget. Alright, set text, add a menu, return node. That might be another issue where we're having a problem because we were returning before we were completely done. No, probably wouldn't have been an issue, but it would have been if we got this working properly. Alright, so don't care really about that stuff. We just care if it's the right mouse button. Click then for each through all the menu item strings. Create a button for each one of them. Set the text to a one of the strings in the array, add it to menu items, which is this, which goes through, does all the validity checking, make sure all of our objects are valid, which since they're actually, since these are already really created, we don't need to really do this. They're already objects within our UI, so we don't need to actually check them. It's already instantiated and whatnot. It's just this one we have to start creating it dynamically. Oh, target. Yeah. Context menu box. Okay. Ah, there it is. Test 1. Well, I did one of them. That actually looks pretty good. I wasn't sure if this, because this image here, this that we're using is actually an image I created in Photoshop. I wanted to try and do it in as a material, because I was worried about stretching and pixelation and crushing and all that, but actually came out pretty good looking, to be honest. I'm happy with that, really. So I've only got one of them now. And it's kind of not in the middle of the screen, it's kind of over here somewhere. Which is also interesting. So why is it not adding everything? So let's add a breakpoint there. Alright, so right click. Text is what? This is string. Watch this. Oh, it's not going to show what it is. That's fine. So, resume. Add child. So that's interesting. I wonder if we need to go back to our context menu set to size to content. We don't need to do that with this because it should do it automatically as we add new things. This vertical box. Let me just turn off the size to content. I'll just make it a bit larger here. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling it's only actually putting one element in for some reason. I'm just going to go and get rid of all the breakpoints. Nope, it's just the one item. And we can click on it, as you can see. We're clicking on that button and it's moving. We haven't tied anything to it yet, though, so it's not doing anything. But yeah, it's only adding the one item. That is interesting. So, I wonder if we'll need to do something like this. Or maybe use a wrap box or something. Let me go check and see if there's some sort of quirk to adding things to a vertical box. the hell version of Funreal is this where the UMG editor was experimental. So text block. So that's a vertical box. Or no, is it? Maybe it's not. Widget blueprints, main screen option. Okay, so those are the buttons. Oh no, it's just a canvas panel, okay. Oh, it says to delete the canvas panel. Interesting. I remember somebody reading that before somewhere and it didn't do that, but it worked for having the canvas panel still there worked for the notification thing, but maybe for this it's a bit different. Yeah, let's go and try that. Context menu button. Isn't there a fill the content on this? I mean, no, this one hasn't. Or maybe it doesn't. There we go, that was it. Needed to move the canvas panel, but now we got this issue where we need to be able to resize these to accommodate the text. Still, we got it there on the right click. Nice. So it's working now, cool. So now the next thing we need to do is figure out how to remove them. So, for this, I think we'll go in and modify the system to work more like what we have with the other stuff, since that's kind of where we're at now anyway with the actual implementation of it. Actually having the menu inside of the UI. Let me see what we need to do. UI move let's see. Character blueprints. Oh. Text. So, we can set canvas, Y, X, Y. Create widget, target. Yes, this isn't. We want to move something that's already inside of the viewport, though. I don't want to. So if we have to create it, then we have to bring that out, and that wasn't working for some reason. Well, maybe it wasn't working because the canvas was in the way or something on both of them. So maybe that. Okay, we're gonna try and redo what we undid. Should have probably just created another set of blueprints, but this is why I do it in this thing and not in this project and not in the other one, so I can screw around like this and totally mess things up and have fun spending hours fixing them. So that's why I wanted to do this off stream, but time conspired against me. So we have our button. We need to recreate our user interface widget for context menu. And like before, we're just going to delete that. Delete the canvas. Put in a menu anchor. Inside of that, we're going to put our... Well, first of all, we're going to... where's the size to content at? Maybe this isn't in here. It's not inside of a canvas, maybe. I'll figure out how to deal with that later. So vertical box. Drop that in there. Vertical box becomes context menu box. Also a variable. Now, inside of this, we're going to create another variable once I compile this. So we're going to set this one up kind of like how we set up the other stuff for like notifications and whatnot. We're going to have an array that will store menu context menu buttons, and then we'll use that to iterate. We'll add to that and then iterate through it and add and clear and all that kind of stuff like we did with the other one. Which also means that we probably need to make this make this a UI widget. Inherit UI widget so we can get to the reverse function in it. That way we can use that for that as well. So, not going to need that or this. Construct. Won't need that either, I guess. Alright, so we need a new variable. It's going to store an array of context menu buttons. We'll call it context menu btn list. And copy it. Alright, we need a couple functions, so we'll need to have add menu item. We'll need to have so add menu items and update notification. So yeah, add will just add it to the array. Well, okay, this will. Where the hell is the add? Oh, add notification. That's why it wasn't open, or if it was, it didn't see it. So we'll do like an add menu item, which will do this. Something similar. It won't do the transformation because we don't need to reverse the box. True. Actually, we don't need the reverse. I'm thinking of this system instead of this one. Never mind. Don't need that. Which also means we don't need this to be subclass of this. Don't need the reverse function at all. Okay. So add menu item. So this will basically just add. Well, they'll take in a new button, context menu button. Object. We'll do a is valid check on it. Well, that's not the right one. So I'll go to a branch. So if that is valid, then we'll be good. So if true, and then we'll need to call update menu items. And then, so we'll call it insert. So what we'll do is we won't call this from here. We'll call this from, or another way we can do it is pass through a an array of strings or whatever we want to use, but we'll do it this way. So what'll happen is we'll create the buttons, then we'll call from the other function where we're creating the buttons, we'll call the update menu, and then from there we'll call insert. From here we'll call insert. So update. First thing we need to do is we need to have our context menu box and button list. So I do not believe we need to handle modifying this. We just need to run through it. So for each actually we don't even need to do that, do we? All we need to do is call this and call remove or clear, actually I think it's clear children. So just to make sure that there's nothing, we clear out what's already in there, then we call update. Rather we call insert. menu items. And again, we need the same stuff. So this is where we're going to do this now. So for each loop. And we don't need to check if they're valid. We already had them pass that check when we added them to this, so that should be fine. Add child. Okay, so that's all that's set up. You get back over to here, context menu. So on mouse button, click. So delete that one. Actually, we do kind of still need that there. Add menu items. We don't need this at all. And I guess we'll need to go back to the designer to get rid of these. Now, what we'll need is no, we'll see how this works this way first. All right. So we need to create widget. Context menu. And then add to viewport. Then set position in viewport. And then call, yeah. We'll have to pull off of this. Okay, add menu item. Then once that's done, update menu items, then return. So this should do what we had it set to do before. This time maybe it'll work though. Compile it, and let's see what happens. There we go. So it's displaying, it's not getting set at the mouse position. Well, it kind of is actually, sort of, in a weird way. And we're able to click and show it at places, but it's not near where the mouse is at. And it might be because this is a windowed thing. So like if I hit stop and we actually hit launch, and it launched as a full screen, or not full screen, but like a full window mode or something. I gotta wait for it to build the file. And while we're waiting, jump into Adventure Communist for a second. It's gonna take probably a little bit of time. Okay, longer than a little bit of time. Jeez. I haven't done this very often, so I'd forgotten how long this takes. I guess it's building out like the lighting and everything too, so that's probably why. That usually takes a while. Now, what I'm hoping is that I don't have to move like the SQLite lib or something to the executable folder for it to work properly. Alright, so there we have this. Yeah, it's still not quite right, is it? It's like adding it like a certain distance away. It's not quite at the mouse pointer. But it's working. We're creating a bunch of them, obviously. So what we have to do is check to see if there already is a widget existing, or better yet, yeah, buttons. While it's open, if you right-click again, have it close it instead of So if it exists, close it instead of creating it. So basically, what would happen is you'd have something that you click on, like for example. Let's say this. Let's say if we right-clicked and this was underneath it, you'd bring up a context menu that would have options relating to the normal stuff you would see, but also then other options related to this object, like target it or hail it, or if it was hailable, or approach it or whatever, stuff like that. So let's see, how long has it been? Hour and a half? So we kind of set out to do what we wanted to do. We wanted to create a context menu that we could show by right-clicking, and we kind of have done that. Obviously, we got some issues that we'll have to deal with. So let's, well, interesting. I was going to say, let's map these to something, but then I started thinking about how we would actually do that. So, like, for example, we'd have to say, okay, if you're clicking on nothing, then load in these specific buttons, and then when we build those buttons, we'd tie in specific things to them, like we create an inventory button, or open inventory button, or open cargo button, or something that would, on button press of that button, would open up the inventory window, instead of having to push I. No, and I no longer works. Oh, because it's not implemented that way in this. That's right. That's in the tech demo, not in this. Of course. That wouldn't work. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and... actually, I'm probably going to go ahead and we'll end the stream here, and I'll use this extra time to do some recording for Chrono Cross. I was going to suggest that we'd switch over to... actually, you know what? First, I'm going to do a first impressions for Tavern Tycoon, I think is what it's called. Is that still running in the background? Yeah, let's go ahead and stop that first. And then I'll also change all this stuff up. What's this? Notification. 10 achievements. Let me change the video information real quick. Let's see. Yeah, Tavern Tycoon. Seriously, there's no, somebody needs to tell Twitch that their tags suck arse. I don't give a crap if it's for, better stream aggregation or whatever for the searching, but it's stupid. So there's no tags for this game. Like, you should at least have friggin' genres of games as tags, and not rely on the actual category that have the tags for it. Because if it doesn't, then you're screwed. So I guess we'll just have no tags. So last time I tried to do this, it wouldn't update, or it didn't immediately update the information. All right, maybe by the time I'm done switching over to the YouTube stuff, it'll be ready to go. Actually, on this one, I'm going to set it to, just because if I change it, it'll change the name for the whole thing. On Twitch, doesn't really matter because they get deleted after a while anyway, so. Just Tavern Tycoon. I don't think that's the one it is, but I don't know, maybe it is. I don't bother with the tags. Alright, let's see. Okay, they're good. They're good. It did change. What the hell is this now? Oh. Prime load. I'm sure to get rid of this friggin' thing. It's just so annoying. I don't want fake loot for Twitch. I think that's what they're advertising. Okay, that's not what it is. It's just stuff for... I think it's stuff you get if you're a Prime member. Yeah. Which is kind of weird. I guess they gotta give stuff away for free to get people to join Prime. So hopefully this will capture the first try. We shall see. I tried to play this once before and then I couldn't because I was installing Elder Scroll Online to the same drive, so basically it was like slow as hammered crap. Oh no, that is it. Never mind. Dragon's Hangover. That is what it's called. Alright, windowed 1920 by 1080. There you are. Oh my god, where'd my mouse go? My mouse is missing. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. It's hanging. Perfect. Perfect. Great. Awesome. This is what I expect from alt tabbing out of a game. In 2005, not 2019. I'm sorry, they gotta figure out alt tabbing. What the hell? Very nice. So those settings didn't actually work at all. No, I want to find the best coverage for self. Full screen off, like I told you. Save. Resolution. What the hell? Where's the resolution setting at? There is no resolution setting. Awesome. Can I resize this thing somehow? I love the fact that resolution slider is in here, and that the actual settings from the actual launcher don't actually apply. I mean, I get it just came out, but still. And if your settings, your launcher settings don't even tie into the game, then why have a launcher in the first place? Yeah, well, okay, so this all changed again. I mean, it started out fine, and then it went to hell. Okay, there it goes. Now it works. That was weird. Well, it kind of works and kind of doesn't. I can't... Oh, there it goes. That was also strange. Okay, read this first. Version 1, full release. Horrifying. Okay, so let's see. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to say it. Let's start normal. Interesting loading animation. When it hangs, it should like take a dump or something, because it's like, you know, the game's taking a dump trying to load files. That'd be kind of a lowbrow humor kind of thing. Alright. Completed loading at 45%. Perfect. So, welcome to your first tavern. Using a bar, guest room, and a kitchen. Her maidens and a clerk. A restroom, staff room as well. Have an reputation. Keep your finances above 2,000 gold. Be fired if the tavern goes under. Okay, so... Okay, right mouse button rotates. Hire a bartender. Alright, kitchen is next. Interesting, this one requires a build area. What if I don't want to build it there? No, I don't want to build it there. Well, I guess I'm kind of screwed. So you build a room. Okay. Oh, I could have like built it on the outside or something. Look on the long green sideboard. Oh, this thing. Give her tavern a name. I wasn't paying any attention to that stuff. Is there a way to look up the log somehow? Also, don't hire a handyman, so. Interesting. So we need to buy some tables, I guess. And we have to hire some maidens. Alright, so how do we, like, open the place? Oh, okay, that's how you do it. So can you reclose? No, you can't. Okay, so it's a one-time thing. This definitely has a Roller Coaster Tycoon vibe to it, at least. In terms of, like, you know, being able to look at the stats of the guests and things. Local guest. 100% time. Well, patient, I guess. And their happiness. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know you could do that. So rats come in and they defecate on your floor, apparently. Or whatever the hell that is. So you must pop them with your mouse. Pun intended. Lord Peter wants to inspect the tavern. Very well. Monthly reports, total visitors 5, gold income 70. So yeah, we definitely were in the red for that month. But that's expected since we just opened up. What's this? Needs a raise. No raise for you. Oh, so if you say no raise, they quit, apparently. Fine. Just don't want to hire another friggin' janitor. Do you have to hire like a chef or a... Okay, no, they do it themselves. I should probably hire another one. Oh, we do not have a restroom. Blah. Where do we go for that? Lord Peter just entered the building. Must be that guy. A bard. Where the hell's the zone, I guess? Oh, here we go, yeah. So you can't build outside of your zone, I guess. So why didn't it like that? Oh, we have that next. Oh hell, they're all going that way. So you can't actually see what he's doing. That's interesting. Pike and mead. So reputation increased and we got research potions. What the hell? What the crap? So monthly report February. What was our total income? 40. That's not too bad. We're almost breaking even with our wages. Inspection results. More generous. After that, they lop your head off. Send you to a guillotine. The Department of Health. Who the hell? What the hell? There's no Department of Health in the Middle Ages. In fact, probably quite often, patrons would just relieve themselves in a corner somewhere or something. So dining quality 4, interior 1, work environment 1. Probably because it didn't have a worker restroom, whatever, break room. Yeah, tavern hygiene. That's kind of interesting considering all the mouse elimination spots and all the blood pools from killing them. So 2 workers are requesting a raise. Fine, I'll give it to them. Let's put in some more tables. Edit room, there we go. Food is too expensive. So how do you set that? Oh, there we go. Okay, I have 110 gold pieces. Oh, you can charge for the restrooms too. That'd be interesting. They'd be literal toll booths. So you can buy this. How do you create new property though? Is there a way to do that? That might be with this, actually. Research workshop. Definitely drunk. Well, okay. Definitely got the same type of throw-up mechanic from RTC, or RCT. Actually, we don't need that one for a reception desk and all that. We can actually build some guest rooms here. Oops. What the heck was that? Those guys did that before. Or somebody did that before. It's like, what the hell? Friggin' weird crap going on over there. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm putting in another guest room first. Ah, come on. Staff room. Actually, it's a desk, isn't it? So it's probably out here, yeah. So, who stabs the reception desk? Monthly income, definitely over our monthly wages now. Group reservation. We'll see how that goes. Oh, right, a clerk. We need to hire a clerk for that. You know, we need to hire also a couple more maidens. Maybe 2 more. And probably another handyman. Need a bigger sword. What the hell? Well, let's see what happens. Is there any way to... So I guess we can use this stuff to, Oh, this must be that group. Lord Peter's here. Hopefully it's not Littlefinger and some other Lord Peter. I guess he spells his name differently, I suppose, so. I think with a Y or something. And so far it seems like it's pretty cool little game. So I guess our goal is to just get to 2,000 reputation, I think it was. I think we need another bartender. So interior is still a 1, but work environment's up now. Session increased by 22. Yeah, getting a lot of gold in now. Let's add another bar. So who do we have to hire for that? Oh hell, this is still going. Just draining my phone battery like it's nothing. Ah, here we go, administration. Free drink coupon. So up to 307 reputation now. If I stop building stuff for a while, we'll what the hell? Looking for trouble. Let that be a lesson to you. Don't pick on a bard. The heck was that? Oh yeah, he got a level, I guess. Interesting. Oh, can only one person sit on this or something? Guess we did have a lot more staff. Let's throw some more rooms back in here. Alright, monthly report June. So almost 5,000 in. Expenditures total. Well, I think that includes this. Yeah, includes that. So that's pretty good, actually. So interior still got a problem with interior. What do we gotta do to raise that? Put in all kinds of furniture. Maybe we gotta put in some like plants and things. It's kind of interesting. You kind of have to just kind of figure some of the stuff out for yourself. It's not so difficult though. It's not like X4 game with like 4X game with like all this stuff you have to learn on your own. That's difficult to manage. The UI is pretty I wouldn't say simple, but it's pretty easy to navigate. It's, damn, what's the word? Intuitive. To a point. I do believe we'll be needing some more tables. Actually, I wonder what that like effect is. I can't see it anywhere in terms of like what it's doing to them, and there's no like real description of it either. So this should be the well, actually, yeah. This will be the first non-grace period, whatever visit. So now we get to learn the truth. What he thinks about the place. I wonder how you expand though. I mean, like buy new territory to work on. Manage, it's not underneath there, it's manage for workers. Finance. Policy. Oh, okay, interesting. Staff, what is this about? Okay. Loan, tavern, subscription. So I wonder if it's like a Maybe we need to do a research room or something. Maybe something we have to research. And one, oh, we got the reputation. So that's not too bad for like the first mission, first level. Everything's on special. So we'll go through this one and then I'll render my final version. But it's been a pretty good game so far. Okay, interesting. I could get a few more buildings we can expand to. So maybe it's not, maybe we can't buy territory to build on, it's just there automatically. Or maybe if we have like a, for like a free mode or something, maybe it's there. So, tavern name. Let's go with something, alright, Angry Joe's Bar. So, okay. So we gotta do our usual stuff. We need to do a bar, some tables, and I think we'll start with that. Need to build a kitchen. Whoops, wrong one. This time we're going to build the kitchen correctly. Oh, it opened on its own. Okay, so we need a handyman, bartender, and we probably need 2 maidens. Probably should actually have maybe 3, 1 per table, but we're going to start with 2. A wizard. Interesting. Oh, we've got other things to build as well. Oh, that Gandalf the Grey. That's for certain. It's not even Saruman. Some nondescript wizard with a, I don't know, some sort of cloth bag hood or something. I mean, this guy's a warrior. Knight, whichever. Technically, warrior. That mouse, kill it. So there are definitely competing systems, or not competing systems. More different types of systems than there are in the first one. So I'm guessing the first few missions build you up to the full gamut of what you can do. I almost thought it said the Blue Suns, and I was just thinking, what the hell's a mercenary gang doing running a tavern? And there's a bird. Have no stage yet. I guess I should build one. Might as well. Oops, that's a bench. What's the stage? There we go. Oh, we got some reputation. Oh, we need the guest quarters. Or the guest quarter, the worker, whatever. Staff room. Everybody can do that jump thing. It's kind of weird. I think we need another handyman. One we got's not cleaning up all the vomit. That's all over the floor. Oh, yes, we don't have a restroom either. Alright, that should do us for a while. Let's go ahead and build a research shop over here. Is that right? Research workshop. Okay. Let's shorten the name for the building mode, I guess. Just need a door. Let's also build arcane study over here. Oh wow, it's gonna be like huge, doesn't it? How the frick large does it have to be? Oh, 6x4. Well, there you go. 6x4. I can't build it though. That's kind of weird. 3 nights, accept. Oh, there we go. Weird. Let's also put the other thing over here too. Kind of spending a lot of money, but hopefully all this upfront investment will pay off pretty quick. Ah, come on. Alright, we're starting to get to the positive territory. I believe we need another bar. What the hell? I was like, what the hell is that thing? Well, that's what that is. Wonder how many of them have been actually successfully getting stuff. He turned himself into a mushroom. Wow. That's some skill there, buddy. We need more tables. Not the best design in the world, but look, it's the job done. Should probably hire another handyman. Still got a bunch of friggin' vomit spots all over the place. Interesting. It considers the workers to be guests. That might just be a bug on the tooltip. Yeah, I think we need some more. Oh, no applicants available. Interesting. Oh.
Yo, boy, detention.
Gotta make sure we keep that over 8,000. Interior is still pretty low. Definitely a little more chaotic in this one. A lot more people showing up. Interesting. What's this bar down here? Oh, must be the time for the date, the month or something. Like, you know, once it gets to the end, it's the next month or something like that. It's an interesting kind of visual timer for that, though. Holy crap, we got way too many people there. So yeah, we're still in the black, but just barely. How much does this cost? That'll put us under 5,000. We'll lose, I guess. Yeah, I would if I could, but you can't necessarily. I guess I could put one there, but the I think the that fireplace thing's getting in the way. Oh, refunded everything. We could at least fit 2 tables. Okay, we got some more of these. Nice. We hire them all. That's what we have to do. It's part of the problem is that not enough tables. The other part is not enough staff to cook up all the food and clean the tables fast enough to. I'm literally just gonna hire them all. I was not kidding when I said hire them all. Okay, let's see how that works. I seriously think you need at least maybe 1 for every 2 tables. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 tables, so we need 5. I would think at a minimum. Oh, okay, there actually is an actual legitimate thing for this. I was wondering where all these were supposedly going to. Interesting, so these are like tips and things. Interesting. Oh, we got tons of income now. I mean, we got like people packed like sardines in here, so it's not surprising. Jesus Christ. How do we end up with so many people in the bar? Just like keep coming. Almost a perfect 20 reputation there. Hell, our reputation's fallen backwards now. Probably because it's taking too long to get people seated and whatnot. So how do you see... Need to get this whole table thing figured out. First of all, though, I need some more money to buy this, which we have now. Now, if I buy this, well, it's under 5,000, so if we wait a little bit longer, we can buy some tables, put some more over here. Okay, so it ends up if you enter, if you end a month under 5,000, I guess. That's kind of weird. It gets a bunch of people left at once.
Attention.
I know they're all waiting for friggin' rooms, of course. If you don't have the amenity available, they shouldn't request it. At least that's my opinion. Then again, it doesn't force you to build the thing, so. This one's turned out to be a little bit longer of a mission than I thought it would be. Jeez. Holy hell. That's where they all went. No. Are they all waiting for a table? No, they're waiting for the arcane study. Reception desk. Okay. This is the problem. I want to make this all dining. We got all these friggin' people that want a friggin' guest room. Can't build any other locations, so we're kind of stuck. Hey, cranberry pie. I guess maybe we can take out a loan. Where was the loan panel again? Policy? I think that should be enough to get us going here. Something I could put it somewhere over here. Looks all pretty filled up though. Ah, there we go. Of course, now we need to hire a clerk. Now let's get the table situation under control here. Which probably means we'll have to hire some more bartenders, some more maidens. So we're not splitting them across different rooms. Only have 2 available though.
Attention.
Our reputation is like in the crapper. It's hilarious. Yeah, there's not much you can do about it. We got all these tables everywhere. We got the maximum number of mains I can hire at the moment. Maybe I can hire more since it's a new month. Yes, I can. The other main issue is all these morons. They're all waiting for a reception desk. And what are you supposed to do with all this? It seems like a large flaw with this. The fact that you can't build any other location, any other areas for yourself. They're limited to these. And how do you handle this crap? Like, could you like forcibly eject them or something? And they're supposed to leave when they get. Oh, I guess the happiness drops at that point. I think we're screwed. Or the happiness is just going way down. Because all these guys are starting to drop out now. Yep, that's it. Okay, blank screen. Okay, there we go. What the hell? They threw a chicken at me. Throw a whole chicken at your poor dwarf. What the hell? I think that's enough. So let's talk about this game. So I mean, it is a fully released game, but it does still feel like it's still got a lot of work to be done. Really quick, I just want to start endless game and see if we can build places ourselves. It may be something that you can do in a later mission. That, you know, as you go on, they're unlocking more and more things. So that might be something that gets unlocked in the administrative section for you to do. I just want to jump into this thing really quick and see. Or maybe not. There's a lot of areas here. I guess I can look it up on Google or something. So anyway, my impressions of the game. It's definitely fun. The UI is pretty good. There could be a bit more of a unified tutorial, though, meaning that essentially nobody seems to be, let's see, create. create new rooms. No. So I'm wondering if there even is a way to do that. So we'll see. Doesn't seem to be. But that doesn't mean anything. So I didn't play. I just went in there and looked and see. There's like in the endless. There's like all these different other. There's like a whole bunch of rooms. So I'm thinking that there isn't. But that's fine. So yeah, maybe fun game. The mechanics are all there. Definitely has a lot of stuff from. It feels a lot like some elements are from, or at least inspired by Roller Coaster Tycoon and those kinds of games that have like happiness tracking, wait time tracking, sort of like demands, or being able to see what your patrons want, being able to build that stuff for them, and then also the whole aspect of like cleaning things up and having to have staff to do things for certain things like, cooking and serving and cleaning off tables and all that. I'd be comfortable giving it a 6 for now. Maybe a 7 once I get more familiar with it. If you haven't checked it out, I don't think it's on sale on Steam anymore. I think it was on sale last week, but it's a pretty fun game. You should check it out. So, as far as Chrono Cross goes, I will get those up whenever I can get them up. I'll be doing some more recording tonight for that, and then I'll be recording tomorrow morning for that as well, and then hopefully I'll get enough footage recorded that I can just render it all out and upload it tomorrow. And I'll upload this week's tomorrow too if I get enough footage for it. If not, then I'll upload them on the usual time. Let's see, what's the next stream? Friday's next stream. That seems about right. I'll take that time to work on the OV stuff for a while and see if I can't clean up the context menu implementation a bit, and think about what we want to do next out of our list of things over here. Most likely, we'll probably work on the targeting system, since that'll kind of segue from the context menu fairly well. But we'll see what happens. So, thanks for watching the stream. If you watched it live on Twitch or YouTube. For watching it afterwards on YouTube, or I guess on Twitch, if it hasn't been deleted yet. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, or to the side, or whatever. If you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on Friday if I don't do any streams in the meantime.